Hello guys, welcome back to It's Programmer. And guys, in this video we are going to discuss something about backend development. Okay, means as we just enter in backend development from the front end development, we have to learn some major components of the development. Okay, so that components are in front of you. So so what we are going to discuss? We are going to discuss first of all the node. Okay, what is node? Whenever you will give an interview based on backend development using one stack, then interviewer will definitely ask you about what is node. Okay, so guys, node is nothing but the runtime environment for javascript. Node is a runtime environment for javascript which provides the features or one object. The object is known as global object, which is used to run the javascript file. Okay, so guys, node is nothing but the runtime environment for javascript. Okay, then after second point is how to get into a node environment. Means as you know guys, javascript is runs only in its environment. Okay, means as you know, the browser is also one type of environment to run a javascript. Means you can run your javascript into the console window also, because in console window there is having a object. Okay, there is having one object. That object is known as window object. So using window object, we can run our javascript into the console window of browser. So how to get into the node environment? Means as you know, we can run javascript in console window of browser, but how can we run our javascript in node? How can we make that environment? So to make that environment, we have to install the node into our system. So to install node, you can just visit node official website of node and you can install it from that. And after installing it, how to check that is node is installed in our PC or not? To install it, you can simply write you can open your terminal, and into the terminal you can write simply a node. If you will write node node key, then it will show you something the version of node. Okay, so version of node and something information will be there which will be displayed on your terminal window. Okay, and if you want to check the version of node, then you can simply write node -v. What you have to write there? You have to simply write node -v. After writing this command on terminal, you will be get some output. That output will be something like 0.3.1. This will be nothing but the version of node. Okay, so after installing node, after writing a node into your terminal, you will be able to use a node environment to run your javascript code. Okay, so how can we check that our javascript code is running or not? You can write there 3+1 2+1 something calculations, and if it is returning its calculation, then it means that our javascript has run successfully, means our node environment has been created. Okay, so after that, what we are going to discuss, why window object not works in node REPL. Okay, why window object not works in node REPL? Guys, just now I said you that means we can run our javascript into the browser. Why? Because in browser there is having window object, and using that window object we can use the multiple functions of window object, and using that functions we can run our javascript. But why the window object? What is the question? Why window object not works in REPL? What is REPL? REPL is nothing but the node environment. Okay, means what I am telling you again and again, that we can run our JavaScript in node environment. So that node environment is nothing but the node REPL. And what REPL stands for? REPL stands for read. R means read. R stands for read. E stands for evaluate. P stands for process, and L stands for loop. Okay, so REPL is nothing but the read, evaluate, process, and loop. So we just came into the node REPL, and into that node REPL we run our JavaScript file. Okay, so why window object does not works? Because in node object there is not having window object. Window object only exists in browser. Okay, window object only exists in browser. Then we can't use the methods which are into the window object. We can't use that methods, but instead of window object we can use, there is having one another object. I think I have told you already. The object is global object. Means in browser, if you will run your JavaScript, then it will be run by using the window object. But if you will run your JavaScript into the node REPL, then it will help to your JavaScript. What will help your JavaScript? Sorry, I'm extremely sorry. If you will run your JavaScript into the browser, then window object will help to run JavaScript. And if you are running your JavaScript into the REPL node REPL, then global object will help. Means global object is nothing but the same as the window object. Okay, I hope you have understood it. And now discuss why. Do you know, friends, why have I underlined here on process? Because process is also one of the object in node REPL. Okay, what is process? Process is one of the object in node REPL. And if you will write simply process, means if in browser if we write their window, then it will return you a function. Okay, and if you will open that function, then there will be much methods of window object. But if you will write a process in node REPL, then it will also return a object, and in that object there will be much methods. Okay, so conclusion was that process is an object. Okay, I hope you understood it. Next point, explain module.exports. Okay, so I hope guys you have understood till these points. Whatever we have done a node, we have completed node, we have completed this also, and we have completed this point also. So guys, till now we have completed these 3 points, and now we are going to understand what is module.exports. Okay, so whenever you are working in node REPL, so at that time you can be into that condition that means any condition can be there in which you have to deal with 2 JavaScript files, and in which you have to share the data. Okay, means suppose in any backend folder is there. Folder is nothing but the directory. So backend folder is there, and inside that backend folder you have made 2 files. Okay, so first file name is script.js and second is index.js, and inside the script.js file, you have made one variable, that is let m mango is equal to 2, and you want to export this value of mango into the index.js file. So what will you do? You will use inside the script.js, you will use module.exports. Okay, what will you use? You will use module.exports, and you will assign simply this variable to the module.exports. Okay, so you have right here module.exports, and now you have to access this data in another file. So what will you do? In index.js, what will you write? You will simply write here require. Okay, so require, what you are requiring? You are using the script.js files data. So what will you write here? You will write here a ./. Why do we use ./? ./ means is nothing but the dot means the same directory. Okay, dot means same directory, and inside that directory you are using script.js. So you will write here script. Okay, so require ./script, and now what will you get? You will get the data of mango. And you can store this into a variable that let mango. Okay, so guys, I think you have understand that if you want to share any data from 2 JavaScript files, means if you want to share data from one JavaScript file to another JavaScript file, then you can use module.export statement. And also one more thing is there, only the variable, we can't share only variable, you can share the objects as well as string as well as HTML. Means you can share 3 types of data using module.exports. First is nothing but the objects. You can share objects, you can share string, you can share a string data, you can also share value, you can also share a value data, you can also share HTML data. Okay, you can also share HTML. So these are some types which you can share from one JavaScript file to another JavaScript file using module.exports. Okay, so I hope guys you are clear about this, our 4th point also. What is next point? Next point is difference in require and import. Okay, so what is require and what is import? So as I told you now, if you want to share any data from script.js into the index.js, then you will use module.export into the script.js, and you will use require into the index.js. Okay, so when you will use require, and then what will happen? When you use require, and inside that require, what we pass the name of script file. Okay, we passes the name of file. So what happens when you pass the name of file into the require? The all data inside that file get accessed by index.js. Okay, so this is by using require. These things happen by using require. And what is import? Import is nothing but the same thing as a require. Import is same thing as require, but what happens if you are using import, then instead of accessing all file, you can only access a particular thing inside that file. Okay, so how can you use import? You can use import, and inside this you can write here variable name. You can write here variable name from, you can use this from, and you can pass here the file name. Okay, so what will you do? You will simply pass here file name and semicolon. So import this from this file, import this from this file. You can use something like that. So what is the difference between require and import? Require accesses the whole data of file, import can access a particular data of file. I think you are clear about it. One more thing is there, guys, and let's suppose you want to access multiple files. Means there is having backend folder. In that backend folder there is having front end folder, and inside that front end folder there are much javascript files. Okay, much javascript files, and you want to access the all javascript files into the another folder, that is backend folder. Then what will you do? You have to simply use the one technique, that you have to combine all data. Means you have to export all data, and you have to require that data into a single file, that is index.js. Index.js should be the name of that file. Okay, because index.js is not the name only given. Just means there was not any name, that's why they have given this is not a matter. Index.js is only the name for that file. Okay, because when you want to access a data of much files into the file which is outside of directory, then what happens, our pointer get come into this directory. Means if you want to access the data of this directories files, then what pointer will do? And you have called this the data. Means you have get call for this data from another side of the directory. Okay, means out of directory the call is coming. When call will come here, at the time it will search for index.js. When it will be here, when it will get index.js, inside that index.js what we have done, we have gathered the data of all files. Means we have required the data of all files inside the front end folder, and we have exported from index.js. Then what pointer will do? Pointer will come into front end folder. Inside that folder it will search for index.js, and what index.js is exporting, that thing will be get exported from this folder. Okay, and when you will access it outside the folder into the another file, the file will be script.js, and inside that file what will you write? You will write here require, and you will write here the name of folder. You will write here the name of folder front end. You will not write the name of index.js. I think you are clear about this thing. Okay, guys, this was the very important phenomenon for this while sharing the combined data of any folder. Okay, so guys, I think I am able to explain you this phenomenon, and yes, let's move to the next point. I have completed this also. Now we are going to discuss what is npm. Okay, so guys, let's come towards npm. Npm stands for Node Package Manager. What is it? Npm is a Node Package Manager. You can also say npm as a library. Not a library, it's a package manager. Okay, it's a package manager. npm is a Node Package Manager which stores the packages, okay, which we can use to build our application. Okay, so which kind of packages does npm stores? Npm stores packages like react.js. Have you listened about react.js? React is nothing but a package which we use to develop our application. Okay, also there is having express.js. Okay, so in express.js, using Monstack, if you are building any application using Monstack, then you use Express.js as a backend framework, and you use React.js as a front-end framework. Okay, so guys, React.js and Express.js are the packages as well as their frameworks. Okay, so I hope you have understand what is npm. Npm is a Node Package Manager which stores multiple packages, and you can simply install that packages using the npm. Okay, so when how to install npm, guys? How to install npm? If you have installed Node, then npm is installed already into the Node. And how to check is npm exist in our system or not, then you have to write simply one command there. You can write here, you have to write only npm minus v. If you will write this, then you will get the version of npm which will be look something like that. Okay, so you can check your PC. If npm exists, then it will return something like that. If not exists, then it will not return anything, it will return error. Okay, so after installing npm, what we are going to discuss, we are going to discuss express in detail. We are going to discuss express. Okay, because inside the npm, as I told you, there are much packages which we use daily. So inside that, one more package is there, that is Figlet. We are going to make one project on Figlet, so I am going to upload that video also in future. So in future means after today, means tomorrow I will upload that video. If you want to see that video, and if you are new on this channel, then subscribe. Okay, I am not going to promote myself channel, I am going to discuss what is express. Okay, what is express? So express, as I told you, express is nothing but the package, and also we can say express is a framework. Okay, which is used to design, which is used to server side programming. Okay, express is a framework which is used to server side programming. Okay, so how can you install express? Okay, because before using any package, we have to install that package. Okay, so to install express, we can use npm install express. This is the simple code. I can also say it command to install express in our project. Okay guys, in our directory in which we are making our project. Okay, so this is the command. And after installing express, how can you use express? You can, if you are making your project into the app.js file. Okay, if you are making your project into app.js file, so inside that you have to require express. So inside require, what will you write? You will write here express. Okay, you have write your express, and you have stored that into the variable express. You have require express here. Whenever you are accessing any file which is in your folder, at that time we use / and then that file name. But this is package, this is not a file, that's why we have not written here / we have only written here express. Okay, I think you are clear about it. Now when you will write require express, then what will happen? It will require data from express, and what express will return you? Express will return you a function which you have to execute in your app.js. Then we will write here express, and we will simply call that function, and whatever that function will return, we will store it simply in a variable app. So we will write here let app is equal to express, and we will call it. Okay, so this code you will also get on the MDN documentation. Means if you will write not an MDN documentation, it will you will get this on a npm official website. If you will visit npm's official website, if you will search for express, then you will get this code to execute on your node REPL. Okay, so guys, we will write this code in our JS file, and using this only you will be able to use your express package. Now what we have done, we have stored all the express function into the app. And now what will happen? This app variable will be able to use all the methods and functions which are stored into the express package. Okay, so there are much methods which are into the express package. From that we are going to discuss about 3 methods, which is .listen method. After that we are going to discuss about method, and after that .post method. Okay, and yes, .use method. .post method we will discuss in later video. First of all, we will discuss .get, .listen and .use. We are going to only discuss about these 3 methods. Okay, .use. Okay, so guys, if you have installed express, if you have run this function, and if you have stored the data of that function into the app variable, then how can you use these 3 methods? There are multiple methods inside that express, but in this video we are only going to discuss these 3 methods. Okay, because we will discuss all methods in later video, because this video will be very lengthy. Okay, fine. So how can you use dot listen, and why do we use dot listen? Okay, so if you have access your data into the app variable, then you can, if you want to use this, then app dot listen, you will simple write here app dot listen, and this function takes two parameters. That is nothing but first is the port, you can simply write here port number, and second is nothing but the callback. Okay, second is nothing but the callback. So this is nothing but the app.listen looks. Okay, so you will simply write here port number, on which port you want to run your server. You will write here that port number, and you will write here whatever you want to return in an output. Okay, so this is app.listen method. App.listen method works to listen and request which are coming on particular port. Okay, now second is app.use. We will discuss app.get later after app.use. So what is app.use method? How do we use it? Okay, so app.use is also same as app.listen, but app.listen works to listen the request only. Okay, so app.use also works to listen the request, but it has different parameters. What parameters it has? It has parameters request and response. Okay, it has a parameters request and response. In a request, what happens? The port number we have already declared above. On that particular port, if you are sending any request, okay, if you are sending any request, then it will return something. It will return something. It will return something whatever we have written inside that. Okay, it will return the code whatever we have written inside this. And yes, app.use is also method which only listens the request. Means mostly we use this method for only to listening the request on it. Okay, and one more method is there, that is app.get. Okay, app.get. How do we use app.get? We use app.get method same as app.use, but one thing is there. When we use app.listen method, at that time the parameter list was like this. There was a port number and there was a callback function. Okay, this was app.listen. When we use app.get, at that time what was there? There was a two parameters, that was request and response. Okay, and now we are using app.get. Sorry, when we use app.use, there was two parameters, that is response and request. Now we are using app.get. There is having three parameters, not three, there is having two parameters, app.get, and that parameters are something like that. First of all, we will pass here the app.get, we will pass here the link. Means it is not said as a link, we can say it as like a okay, so we can say it as a route. Okay, it is not a link, it is route. Okay, if you are using app.get, then you will write here a route name, and after route you can use here request and response. Okay, so guys, I hope you are clear on it. There is having two parameters in app.get, that is route, request and response. And when you will use this, means there is having two, route and callback, and inside that callback there is having two parameters, request and response. And we will write here simply callback body, and we can complete it. And whatever you will write inside this app.get, it will be get executed on your web page which you are returning. Okay, so guys, I hope I am able to explain you all these things. This is nothing but the storytelling process of backend development starting. So guys, I hope you have understood this. If you like this video, if you've understood that all things, then please comment in comment box how was this, and was it helpful for you or not. That all things, please comment in comment box, because whenever I read your comment, I feel very happy. Okay, so guys, it's my request to you, please comment in comment box. Okay, and if you like this video, please hit the like button, and if you are new for our channel, that is It's Programmer, then subscribe our channel and join our programmers family to learn code. Okay, so we will meet in next video. Till then, keep learning, keep coding. Bye bye.